Hello everyone, how's it going? It is Tyrnor as always, and this weekend was BlizzCon 2016. A really mildly interesting BlizzCon, if I do say so myself. And this video is meant to give you a look at my opinions and my thoughts and what new pieces of Warcraft lore or stuff related to Warcraft lore we found regarding BlizzCon. As to the con itself, the new Hearthstone expansion, the main streets of Kil'jaeden was pretty cute. The Heroes of the Storm of Varian and Ragnaros were pretty great, and I didn't really care about anything else. Go Pavo, you're the Hearthstone champion, you're awesome, I suppose. Alright, so what happened in the lore in Warcraft at BlizzCon? Well, first and foremost, at the World of Warcraft What's Next panel, we found out that patch 7.2 will be the Tomb of Sargeras, and my reaction almost immediately was, what, already? That the Tomb of Sargeras seemed kind of like the whole point of the expansion. We are closing it already? What's going on? It seemed really kind of fast. And then we found out that, well, in more or less certain ways, but pretty much 90% certain, that after the Tomb of Sargeras we will be going to Argus and presumably finishing off the Burning Legion. Which is a really interesting turn of events, a really rapid end to the Legion, actually. A storyline which has really been the main storyline of World of Warcraft, of Warcraft in general, for almost since its inception, really. And we're just finishing right now. I suppose it makes sense considering the expansion is called World of Warcraft Legion. You can't really just close the Tomb of Sargeras and then return to deal with the Legion in another thing, but it's still incredibly sudden. Then again, my presumption is that they are going to be hyping up Azshara and N'Zoth and the Void Lords in the following expansion, and so on and so forth, and this point will be kind of reinforced in some other stuff they said. Other than that, at this particular panel, they mentioned in passing that Aegwynn fought the Avatar of Sargeras in the tomb, which doesn't really make sense. She fought him in Northrend, but whatever, maybe they misspoke, maybe it's just a really minor point of lore, whatever. And finally, in this particular panel, well, not finally, sorry, Kil'jaeden will be the final boss of the Tomb of Sargeras. I really hope we do not kill him, because I want him to interact with Velen and some other characters. So I hope he's not just another Archimond. Other than that, they also showed a bit the structure of the Tomb of Sargeras, namely, we first entered the tomb through the cathedral, the outside structure, more or less, that connected to the Night Hold of Suramar. And then we descend into first and foremost flooded caverns filled with Naga for whatever reason. I'm honestly really confused as to why Naga would be there. They said that there is a reason, and that they mentioned later on that not all Naga serve the same matriarch, so to say, which is a really questionable statement to me, but whatever. I guess we don't really know yet what their deal is. We don't even know if they're allied or in conflict or whatever with the Legion. And then following that, we would go to an elven wing, mostly crypts, caverns, elven crypts and caverns, so to say. And after that, we descend further into the tomb, fight the Avatar of Sargeras, which looked really cool, and we fight Kil'jaeden himself, the big bad. So that is pretty much what happened at the World of Warcraft What's Next panel. Interesting stuff, I suppose. Again, it's really rushing forward, but let's see if they can do it right, I suppose. The next panel, which revealed some lore, was the Blizzard Publishing panel inside Blizzard Publishing, which basically talked about authors, novels, and so on and so forth. namely Kil'jaeden was there, the authors for Volume 2 of the World of Warcraft Chronicle, the author for the Traveler series was there, Mickey Nielsen and Timothy Zahn were also there. But regarding Warcraft lore itself, they gave a bit of a preview, more or less hints about what's going on in Chronicle Volume 2, and of course they will be talking about the ancient history of Draenor, how it was shaped by the Titans, what happened specifically to form the life on the planet, the ancient civilizations of Draenor, namely the Apexis Arakoa, the ancient Ogre Empire, the ancient Orc clans, and moving on to the First War, and so on, presumably. One other point that they mentioned is that they basically also showed some artwork that life on Draenor basically formed because of the outcome of a gigantic battle between an enormous stone giant and a big vine creature, for lack of a better term, which were the ancestors for the Breakers and the Primos, respectively, and they are the ones which gave rise to life on Draenor. They also mentioned that in Volume 2 or Volume 3, presumably, or maybe in another book entirely, although I'm not so sure about that, that there are plans to expand Tauren lore, basically their society and their conflicts with the Centaur before they joined with Thrall in Warcraft 3. And they also mentioned that authors generally work very closely with Blizzard, and it's apparently a very accommodating company, and many authors have NPCs in-game, for instance. One bit of lore that I would also like to mention, which is not Warcraft lore, it is StarCraft lore. It's a bit of a spoiler, so I'm going to put some sort of sign on the screen that says, hey, this is a spoiler. When the sign disappears, you can unmute the video. Timothy Zahn, the author of the new StarCraft Evolution book, said that Matt Horner is quote-unquote gone. But who knows, he might return. Who knows, that means he may be dead, he may just disappear, he may be undead, he may be infested. I honestly don't know. That's what Timothy Zahn said. And in addition, the new StarCraft book is supposed to be an entry point for new people to the lore, and supposedly simplifies a lot of things. You're not gonna see, for instance, this is a whatever model assault rifle. No, this is just an assault rifle. To quote an example they mentioned. And last but by no means least is the Q&A. Basically, the lore questions which were asked were, first and foremost, what happened to Medan? They said that Medan, being Guardian, is not canon anymore. Now, I honestly didn't care that much for Medan, and he obviously was this incredible juggernaut that they had no idea what to do with. But this precedent that they just retconned a gigantic part of the comic is kind of concerning. They may say, oh, this novel is also not canon anymore, or oh, this is also not canon. But then again, they also retcon things on an almost daily basis, so One other thing that they mentioned was one person asked the question, how far do they plan characters when they write for them? And they mentioned the examples of Wrathion and Garrosh, which pretty much confirm what I always thought about the writing for Wrathion and Garrosh. Namely, they said that for Garrosh specifically, they initially planned for him to have a heroic destiny, and then they changed it about halfway through to the fate that he currently suffered. Which, pretty much confirmed what I always thought. I always thought that they intended for Garrosh to be this really cool leader of the Horde to lead it into a new age of prosperity, and then they changed their mind and decided to kill him off. As to Wrathion, they said that pretty much almost from the moment they conceived him, they had no idea what to do with his character. They pretty much made it up as they went along. And Wrathion, and they tried to fit him in with Legion, and many of you may know that he was supposed to be Spirit Walker Ebonhorn in High Mountain before he was replaced with another Black Dragon. and that they currently don't really know what to do with Baratheon, and that he is, quote, currently wandering Azeroth, and, quote, and again, we will see him in a future content update, which is just wonderful, I suppose. One other bit of Warcraft lore that was mentioned is, again, the Naga bit. It was mentioned in the Q&A that not all Naga worship the same matriarch. I already mentioned my thoughts on that, whatever. And one other bit, and I suppose this is kind of the last bit, is that... not the last bit, there's one more minor thing. But regarding the Naga, Azshara wants the Tidestone for her own reasons, not related to the Legion. Which I suppose we kind of knew from the beginning, more or less. It kind of begs the question, why didn't Azshara just go for the Tidestone before the Legion invaded? But whatever. They said that they have a plan, so I guess we will see that plan in action. The other minor thing that happened is someone asked how big is the range of the Sunwell, basically. If I'm a Blood Oath Paladin on Outland or in alternate Draenor, how can the Sunwell reach me? And they basically said that light travels pretty much everywhere in the universe, so as a result the Sunwell and its light have pretty much infinite range. One other minor tidbit, which was more of a joke answer, is why can't Forsaken be paladins? And they went into a little tidbit about why Forsaken can be priests, and then they stumbled on that, and the general consensus is we have no idea, but we will see in the future. So this concludes pretty much what was discussed about Warcraft lore and a little bit about StarCraft lore at BlizzCon. Other than that, kind of an underwhelming con, like I mentioned. Not entirely bad, but not entirely good either. And that's pretty much about it. Alright, so I suppose I'll see you all next time.